Hello, in this video I'm going to show you a quick demo of the Marsha Audiobook app. The first time you start the app, you need to give it permission to access the audio files on your phone. Once you have done that, you can create a reading list like this. I will show you how to add one more book to my reading list. Then click Finish. Then it will be showing at the end of your list. In this setting page, you can set settings like skip forward duration, speed, or volume for the individual audiobook that you are listening to now, and then they will be saved together with the audiobook. The next time you play, then again those settings will be applied. So for example, now I just set it to very low so that you can hear my voice clearly. Yeah, then the audiobook is almost not audible for me, but maybe for you it's still loud. And then in this page you also have a highlighter button. For example, when you're listening to an audiobook and you hear something, you hear one part of the book that you feel really interesting, that you want to listen to it again, then you can rewind to that beginning of that section, then start highlighting. And when you hear the end of that part that you found interesting, you click it again to end the highlighting. Then the highlight part will be shown here. When you finish one book, then you may have several highlights. For example, with this book that I listened, I have many highlights. And then when I want to listen to this book again, I can just go to the marks page and start from the beginning of the highlights list instead of re-listen to the whole book again. And in this page, marks page, you can also share the marks of this book to a friend or to your family, and then your friend or your family can just import the marks that you send to them with this button. So if I delete all of the marks that I have here, then yeah, I have no marks. Now my friend sent me his marks for this book, and then I can just import what he sent me, and voila, I get all the marks that he made. And then I can listen to the list of the marks instead of having to listen to the whole book to get why he think this book is worth reading or worth listening. Okay, in this page also have a loop mode switch. Now it's at disable state, which means the player will just play the mark that I selected or the highlight that I selected in a loop. But if I enable this mode, then the player will play the whole list in a loop. In this page, setting page, I also have a global settings section. Here you can set a distraction timeout. Distraction timeout is a time that you set so that the Marsha app will pause the audio if you don't interact with the audiobook after this much of time, after distraction timeout. So in this case, I just set it to very short, 6 minutes, which means if I haven't pressed those buttons or I haven't highlighted any section of the audiobook for 6 minutes, the app will assume that I am already distracted. I'm not focusing on the audiobook. Of course, I just set 6 as example here. Normally, I set it to half an hour, but it's the same story. After this amount of time, if you don't interact with the book, it will pause. This will be helpful when you like to listen to an audiobook while you go to sleep. Then a lot of times you just fall asleep, then the audiobook will continue playing. With this feature, you can set a time so that it will be paused after let's say in my case 6 minutes after I don't interact, which means most likely I fall asleep. Then in the next morning you can use those buttons to go back and forth to find, well, it's the latest interaction points that you had with the audiobook, that you are still aware of the content, you are still thinking along, and then you can start from there. And in the about section, I will put the video I'm recording now to this link, and I have also another link, which is a website of a smart ring product that I'm developing for Korean. It have many functions, but one of them is to interact with this Marsha app, so that you can control the playback and the highlighting function with the ring, with the focal ring, instead of having to take the phone out and click those buttons. That's all about it. Hope you will enjoy the Marsha app the same as I do.